Welcome to Mother-Daughter Projects. I'm Steph.
I'm Vicki.
And today we're in my kitchen and we're going to use a peel and stick stone tile to turn this into this.
Today we're using a product provided by Aspect. This is a peel and stick backsplash tile, and it comes in genuine stone, glass, and even metal. You can find it at Home Depot and order online.
When I first moved into my house, we actually purchased a traditional backsplash, but we returned it because it seemed like it was going to be a lot of work to cut around all the outlets I have in my kitchen. So when we saw this product, we thought it'd be a great solution because you can cut it with tin snips, or utility knife, even a miter saw.
Join us as we peel
And stick
Steph's new backsplash.
First, we did a dry run of the tile placement. Then we moved on to prepping the wall. We used a heat gun to soften the old caulk. Then we used a caulk removal tool to have a smooth base for the tile. We cleaned the wall and countertop edge with mineral spirits. Next, we needed to prime the wall, so we used frog tape to protect the edges and vertical stopping points. We used Kilt's primer as the tile instructions suggested. Frog tape is great in this application because it gives you a very clean, painted edge with no bleed through. Once dried, we removed the frog tape. Once the surface was prepped, we moved on to fitting our tile. To cut around the outlets, we used the plate as a guide, marking just within the plate to be sure the plate completely covered the tile. The tile has natural breaks, which we try to utilize when marking outlet cuts. When an edge ended on a natural break, we just used a utility knife to cut away the backing. We used the previous tile laid over the new tile to figure out where to cut the next tile. The vertical cuts were easy to make with tin snips. Horizontal cuts were made with rubber mallet and chisel. We continued to lay out our tile and make cuts for the outlets and switches. The backing was very easy to remove. We did a light fit to make sure the placement was right, then we pushed firm to get a strong hold. We replaced the covers as we went. When we came to the window molding, we decided to make a paper pattern of the trim. We drew out the pattern, cut it out, and traced it onto the tile to be cut. To finish off the smaller sections, we used leftover pieces of cut tile and put it into place. For some spots, we made a paper guide. We cut out the paper guide and traced it onto the tile. To finish the edges, we used a scrap piece of molding and cut it to size on the miter saw. We primed, painted, and put it into place using finishing nails.
What we learned. The key to any successful DIY project is to read the directions, and that's what we did. We read the directions cover to cover.
One thing to note is when we were cutting the tile, we noticed that some of the stone came off, which is totally normal, but it made our hands a little itchy, so you might want to wear gloves if you're going to use this product. And another thing is when we were cutting around the molding on my window, we made a little paper guide. As we were doing that, I found this tool, and this is called a contour gauge. And basically this, you put around the molding and it will make a little cutout of exactly the cut you need to make on your tile, so that can make things easier. For $7, it seems like a good investment for this type of project.
You're probably wondering about the cost. We used about 20 square feet of the Aspect tile, and it came in about $300, which is comparable to a traditional stone tile. But the difference is you're not paying for adhesive, grout, or the rental of a wet saw. And if you were to have it professionally install the traditional tile, it costs about $400 for 25 square feet in the big box store. So this is a very affordable, doable DIY project.
The thing that took the most time with this project was measuring. So you think everything would be nice and straight in my kitchen, but that wasn't the case. The countertops were a little off, the cabinets were a little off, so we had to make some interesting cuts to make it work, but you're gonna run into that with any of these kind of projects.
The tile's been up for a couple of days now. We've had no issues. Nothing's come loose, nothing's fallen off. But if it were to come off, we would just use some construction adhesive on the back, pop it back in place, and we're good to go.
So if you want to see more projects like this, make sure you visit us at motherdaughterprojects.com. When we saw this product in person, we were very amazed because we thought this would be a great solution. Like amazed, like just
whoa,
so amazed, like wow.
And where did that word come from?
Oh my gosh, amazed is a little much. Like it wasn't a magic trick.
It looked like a good fit.